First, though, Bristol is third most expensive place to rent in the country, and a quarter of the population in the city rent privately. So the Renters' Rights Act that comes into force today will have a big impact on a lot of people, giving them greater protection. Hannah Miller explains how things are changing.
First, if you're renting, you can now leave at any time, as long as you give 2 months' notice. If your tenancy had an end date, it no longer applies. For Jeff, that's a huge relief.
It means that I can actually make this my home for the foreseeable future. And it means that I don't have to start looking for a new place 9 months into it when I'm just about to get settled.
Renters can only be evicted if there's a valid reason, such as antisocial behaviour or not paying rent. So-called no-fault evictions, one of the leading causes of homelessness, have been abolished. Molly knows too well what that's like. It's happened to her twice.
It was 3 weeks before our wedding. Spent our honeymoon looking for where to live. In that instance, we ended up moving into a two-berth caravan at the bottom of my mum's garden. I don't think you really get over it of just someone stripping you of your safety.
Now a tenant can only be asked to move out if the landlord or their family want to move in, or they plan to sell. And even then, they have to give 4 months' notice.
I wouldn't be planning on evicting people for no reason anyway. The only reason you'd want to evict would be for a breach of tenancy or if you need to sell the property, and the Act does enable us to still do that.
Bidding wars are banned, upfront rents are limited, and once a tenant is in, rent increases can only happen once a year at market rates. What kind of reaction have you had?
There are landlords who have perhaps decided that enough's enough for them. They don't want to have this level of legislation that they have to work towards. So we are seeing some landlords are putting their properties on the market to sell.
Renters also have the right to request a pet, and unless there's a good reason, the landlord has to say yes. Good news for Molly, Flossie and Remy, who can now feel even more comfortable in their home. Hannah Miller, BBC Points West, Bristol.